I was saying, you guys are the ones doing miracles here. I really appreciate you guys because that's the reason why we're in touch with Devin. So after we speak, or after we had the discussion, it took him like 6 months to be here. Right? And then he have been in Kigali 3 times after that.
So it's me. Shout out to everybody who's out there who's gonna watch this video. I'm here with 2 great people here, 2 brilliant people here in Rwanda, in Kigali, Rwanda, and I'm going to introduce them to you right now, family. And today we're going to talk about how Rwanda is so progressive, because out of a lot of African countries I've been to, I've noticed that Rwanda is real progressive. More so than a lot of other countries, and I'm just wondering, like, how did it get to this point and why? And I feel I have the best person to answer that question, and I also have another special guest here who is a genius when it comes to 3D artwork, 3D modeling. He worked with a lot of major companies on blockbuster films and stuff like that. So yeah, make sure you tune in, get your pad and pen, family, and get ready. So today we got Raoul here in the building.
Peace, guys.
How you doing, Raoul?
I'm doing well.
So what do you do out here in Rwanda?
I'm a dreamer. I'm an entrepreneur. So I build stuff. I help people to build stuff, and I connect people, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So you're from Rwanda?
Rwandan, 150%.
Nice. So have you been to other countries outside of Rwanda?
Oof. Yes, I do travel.
Nice. All right. Other than Rwanda, like, what's your favorite African country?
Apart from Rwanda, I would say Zambia and Nairobi.
Okay.
And Kenya. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And I'm gonna get back to you.
Yeah.
So we also have a heavy hitter here. The one and only Devin, currently in the building. How you doing today, Devin?
Good, man.
Yeah. So I'm under the impression that your family is in Tanzania, but you're out here in Rwanda. So, like, what's going on out here?
Well, I'm actually out here training, and actually working with Raoul in one of his companies, African Colors. So I'm out here. It's our first time training and teaching the kids. So I'm out here for like a week.
Cool.
Checking things out, yeah.
Cool. How's things been going since you've been here?
Man, everything's been great. It's like my second or third time here. So this time, like, Raul's hosting me, and it's cool hanging out with him. Because he's like a mover and a shaker, so I'm like seeing all kind of stuff that I didn't really see the first time.
Cool. So I got to ask you, out of Tanzania and Rwanda, like, what do you see that's different, and what do you see that's the same about these countries?
Different, like you say, Rwanda is really progressive, and it's a lot of stuff. They're doing a lot of stuff. That's why I'm here teaching, because they're doing more like 3D animation.
Okay.
Trying to get into technology. So, but in terms of just country-wise, it's a smaller country than TZ, but I think it seems like Rwanda is like singularly focused. Everybody seems to be like moving in the same direction to grow the country, and that's kind of interesting to see. As a result, it's like really way more modernized than like TZ or other places. Way more than people might even imagine.
Nice. Okay, so what made you choose to live in Tanzania over Rwanda?
Well, it was up in the air. We kind of looked at both places. I think one big reason was we had support or people or friends that was already in TZ.
Okay.
And so just moving out of the country into Africa, it was probably more comfortable with more people. And then two, we're from Los Angeles, so just the ocean and everything. And also it's just a bigger city. Rwanda's small. And I also knew that, like I love Rwanda, so I knew that chances are I'm probably going to be coming back and forth from time to time. So that's what's so cool about being in Africa. Like, we're close to other places, so I knew I can kind of have the best of both worlds a little bit.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So Raoul, back to you, family. The last time we were here was like during the COVID time. And now it's like 2023, the whole COVID thing is over, and it looks like a lot has changed. Could you tell me like some things that are different between now and probably like a year ago that's happening in Rwanda?
Well, a year is a lot in Kigali in Rwanda.
Yeah.
So every 3 months there is something happening. So remember, it's a hub, right? So it's a city, it's a country where people are feeling more comfortable in investing and secured as well, and also more importantly, a place where people can feel safe to travel to, either as a solo trip or a family trip. You know, so you want to be in a place where it's easy to move around. It's safe to do things, right? So there is that, and then there is also a few things the government is putting in place in terms of attracting investors, in terms of building an environment for people to relocate, to find a life here. And everything else that goes with that in terms of education, in terms of, by the way, which is a big thing now, we have more and more young Africans coming to study in Rwanda because of all those big universities setting shops here. So it's becoming more interesting. And then once they're here, they discover other things. They're passionate about tech, for example. They have, an environment that allows them to do things. They discover that they love agriculture, so they have an environment that allows them to do those kind of stuff. And that's an advantage to being a small city. It's also and a new country as well. So you still have more opportunities, more things to try out, so than bigger countries, Tanzania and others. So here you have more room to really shine, to really do something. So what else can I say? And then, if you're an investor, so you find a house here, a home to invest in, feeling comfortable in terms of, keeping your money safe. And if anything happens, you know where you can ask, you know where you can go to get your money back. And also in terms of investing in other countries. So Rwanda is setting up a lot of incentives that allows investors to invest in other countries through Rwanda. Okay. So that's something you don't want to take lightly, or as an investor, that's something you really want to, being in one place, and then from there you just branch out in other places. So we're a population of 13 million people, right? But Rwanda gives you access to over 300 million people, right? So that's something you want to. That's where you want to be if you're an investor, if you're an entrepreneur, businessman, a woman. So,
You said something interesting, real quick. It's funny, just being somebody that's just coming over here. You're right from the standpoint, DAR is so big that it takes more time to kind of figure out what's what and get around and see what's over here. I noticed that a few times I've been here in Rwanda, it was easier to kind of connect to like influential people and stuff because it's a little smaller.
Yeah.
Whereas in Dar is big. So, but for us, it wasn't that hard because we're from Los Angeles, so I was kind of used to like a big old city.
Okay.
So, but to your point, I just since I've been here, it's been like in Rwanda, like you're not really far from people that's influential. So if you're trying to do something, you have access to people.
Definitely. I got to agree with you on that one. Yeah. So like, I've been to a lot of countries on the continent and on the continent of Africa and other countries in Southeast Asia and things like that. And I've noticed that Rwanda is extremely progressive when it comes to technology, when it comes to like the mindset of a lot of the young people here. And even when it comes to the government and things like that I see them doing and certain stuff that's implemented, what ignited that fire of the Rwandese people to be so progressive?
So this is the funny thing, and we were talking about it yesterday somehow, right? Because I took him to a cultural experience. Actually, we went there, right?
Okay,
sometimes
that's
right?
Yes,
you don't remember,
nice.
right?
Yeah.
So I was explaining to him that our culture, our dances and stuff are based in a way of, let me say not pride like that, but pride, right? Mm-hmm. So it's about really saying yes, we can do this stuff. We are good. They are not better than us. Nobody is better than us and stuff. So that's one. And then we also have something in the culture saying, let me do it. I can do it, right? And anything also that brings to making Rwanda the biggest in an area, in a region, in a world. That's what our culture also tells us, that pushes us somehow, right? We always want to be the best, doing the most, right? That's something. So from our culture, it translates easily into wherever else we do when it comes to business, right? We really want to set things that will be, yes, we are the first, we are the biggest, we are the, we can do this. When it comes to, let's say, innovation, so it's easy for us to say, yes, let's do everything that will create the next big thing from Rwanda, right? And then that translates to any other sector. Now, the third thing, which is very interesting, is the leadership. Okay. So the leadership is, I think it's an amazing thing. I have been in very, very many countries, not only in Africa, but across the world. Finding a government that is ready anytime to say, okay, this is not working for people, let's shift. Or getting someone who comes from outside and say, listen, this will not work. It can work if only we do this, we change policies, we set up incentives, etc. And then the next day, it happens. Right? Those are not things you can get in many countries, really. And that's something that makes Rwanda, be who he is now and what he can be, So, yeah.
It's a very progressive country, and I do see the way, like, just everybody seems to be, just moving towards something greater. You know what I mean? Instead of being just, like, happy where they're at, they want something greater, from what I see.
That's the truth. Mm-hmm. So we always want to surpass how can I say surpass ourselves, right? And that keeps us moving and do amazing things.
Nice. So is there a lot of like Africans on the continent that come to Rwanda now? Do you see a lot more?
I think everyone is yes, I wish I can be in Rwanda. Everyone is like, I'm visiting Rwanda. Everyone is like, I'm investing in Rwanda. Everyone is whoever hasn't come here wants to come. and for multiple reasons. One of them is a place where they think, we spoke about it again, you know, back then, in my generation, US was a country where if I get to it, right, there are 60 or 70 or 90% that will make it, right? Yeah. And that's something people, Africans, are seeing in Rwanda. So if I make it to Rwanda, there is a chance that I will be somebody, I will do something. My product, if I'm in business, it will shine, right? So I can give real quick the zipline story. They were in the States, they will not know. There were nobody, right? And then they say, okay, let's be in Rwanda. Being here, they were like, okay, the government was like, okay, let's try it out. If it doesn't work, it's fine. If it works, it's good for everybody, for Africa, for the world, right?
Yeah.
See where Zipline is today.
The drone.
The drone thing, health sector.
Yeah.
Right? So
they were featured like on a major YouTuber, Mark Wahlberg, I think, I forgot, I might be pronouncing it wrong. There's a major YouTuber who actually did a thing on that company and actually came here and did a big shout out to Rwanda.
Nice. Nice. So I think those are things that makes Rwanda what it is, and wanting everyone out there wanting to come, right? Because you think, you have that hope of saying, okay, if I'm there, I will make it.
Yeah.
And those are things where Africans are not used to. They think they can make it once they're in Europe, in France, Belgium, UK, US, right? But now that they can see that hope in another African country, it's interesting. And that's African countries, Rwanda. Yeah.
Stuff like this really helps people, because a lot of people are looking to invest in Africa and they want to know the best countries to invest in and also the safest countries. Out of all the African countries you've been to, I got to ask you before I get off of this, what do you think is the safest country for investors to invest in? In Africa, yeah.
Well, apart from Rwanda?
No, including Rwanda.
Well, that's the answer.
Oh, yeah. All right.
You guys are the ones doing miracles here. I really appreciate you guys, because that's the reason why we're in touch with Devin. So after we speak, or after we had the discussion, it took him like 6 months to be here.
Man.
Right? And then he have been in Kigali 3 times after that.
Man.
Right? And guess what? The interesting part is also, this is not a usual thing, right? Yeah. So getting people traveling like this and traveling with ideas and soft skills, if I can say so. That's the power of this stuff, right? Yeah. And you guys are doing amazing. There is that thing of also saying people can come into Africa with just ideas, with just dreams, with soft skills, right? They don't really have to be billionaires or millionaires, or no. We just have pack your stuff and come and explore, right?
Yeah.
So and I think that's something you guys are doing really, really good. So shout out to you guys.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah. So while we talking about like what are you doing, like what are y'all doing together here, Devin?
Well, he has a company called African Colors.
Okay.
And it's actually what I saw, because while we were trying to figure out what we're going to do in Africa, I'm doing research, and that's what he was talking about, like the animation and the 3D modeling and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I just went on the site, and I think you guys had I think you did have the convention that year, and it was all online. So they had like a lot of the conferences. You can watch them, online, and they had I think you had one of the major video game companies. So I'm watching this stuff. I'm kind of like, okay, well, maybe there's something I can do.
Yeah.
Or, let me connect. Because at this time I was doing a lot of research, also trying to find places in the continent where my skills could be served. So...
One second. Could you tell us some of the movies and things you worked on in the States before we continue this? Okay. Because a lot of people don't know, what you do.
Well, I I worked in the toy industry, so I didn't really work on the movies, but I worked on the products for the movies. So I worked for Disney Consumer Products off and on for over like 10 years, and I worked at other major toy companies, MGA, Just Play, and I've also worked with like Hasbro, Spin Master, all the major toy companies. And I did that. I've done that for over 20 years. I think I started like in 1997.
Okay.
When I kind of first started at this company called Applause. So from that point to now, then when the whole 3D thing kind of came in, I was like watching that. So, by being connected to so many people, I just was like learning on the job. So here it is in 2023.
Nice.
So all that years of like learning and working at those different places, you kind of like learn more. So you either go into like upper management or whatever. So I just like took my skills. It's kind of like now that I know so much, I started working for myself. So I can work anywhere. I can work, So now I'm here. Like I got all the skills. I like all those 20 years of experience. Now I have a Rolodex full of people, so if I need something done, I can put together a team of people just through my friends.
Nice.
So what I'm doing is I'm actually it's giving me an opportunity to just kind of have a group of students, and I'm just basically putting my information on what I know and just mentoring them and just putting it in them. So I'm like, speaking with them and having classes with them and just not only showing them the applications that I use, the programs that I use, but I'm gonna get into all my knowledge of little techniques, or even my just knowledge of what's it like to work in the industry. Like you said, normally, like I'm from Los Angeles, so there's I know 1,000 people.
Okay.
That know this stuff, all my peers. It's kind of like it's rare. I think when people get skills in the continent of Africa, they usually, like you say, they move to the West.
Yeah.
It's rare that people have those skills and move into Africa. So I think it was like a good.
It's definitely good. It works out.
It works out.
The name of your organization again, Raoul?
African Colors.
African Colors. That's right. And what's your website?
www.africaincolors.com.
Nice. Nice. So what other kind of things do y'all do with African Colors?
So we are just really an ecosystem builder, and we do that through trainings. We empower young people to have skills and knowledge and understanding on how this business works, and then we create platforms where they will be able to access information on what is happening in this industry, not only in Rwanda but across the world, and then also the world to come and meet what is happening in Rwanda and across Africa, and also try to think of how do we move people from one place to another to really do business and create a sort of bridges for them to make it easy for them to enter a new market, and then after that working with governments, advocate for these industries, say how important they are for the younger people to create jobs, etc., but also for the country to really generate revenues, etc. So this is a proof somehow of having Devin here. So the education part was really the first phase of saying, okay, we have to have a pool of talents that will be working on bigger stuff, because we might not have the right manpower to do that, even if we wanted to do bigger stuff. So this is the beginning of other bigger stuff we are planning to do. Nice. And everything from the continent now. So we won't be able to consume only, but we'll be able to consume and produce as well, for the world to consume and produce. as well. So that's what African Colors really does.
Nice.
Yeah.
That actually answered your first question when you asked them like, why is Rwanda so progressive?
Yeah.
That would be like part of the reason is, like you say, that's your mission, bringing in people. Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. Hey man, I appreciate linking up with you too, and I'm grateful for this just this time right here, because I see something big coming out of this.
You guys have to be part of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You're not leaving us behind, right?
No. You got art skills too. That's another thing. That's another reason why you kind of connected. Because you dabble in 3D modeling and stuff too. So.
Yeah, I do a tad bit of dibbling and dabbling in 3D stuff.
So I know we connected there too.
Definitely. That's why this means a lot to me. Like just what's going on here, because I really see the importance of more like African-based or just even black-based cartoons with positivity and no kind of like agendas, hidden agendas and stuff like that. Like I like to see, just good content for our children. We need that. We need that. We need good content, man. So.
And let's meet and have something by September. So it's really important that we tell our stories. And September during our festival, let's do it.
Nice.
Let's have something.
Definitely, yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, man. But I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Do you have an Instagram or anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, what's my Instagram is it BigDev Studios?
BigDev Studios. Yeah. Okay.
You gotta see my work?
Yeah. And how about you, Raoul?
Everything is Africa in colors.
Okay, Africa in colors.
Yeah, it's really easy.
Nice. Appreciate y'all, man.